Peace and power. It's your boy Shane the Artist, also known as Maitreya Asek, and I would like to welcome you to another episode of the Rebellious Rhymer Podcast, family. That's right, black conservatism without the buck dancing, yo. So today's topic, like I said, we are going to be talking about this government shutdown and how it's affecting the American people and the cause of it. Let's talk about it. You know, before we even get to that, I like to see the thing about black people is, especially the ones who tend to lean towards the left, they've been fed this propaganda pretty much all their life that the Republicans are the racists, Trump is the racist, Republican bad, the conservatives are bad. Here's the thing, and hear me out here. I'm not defending the Republicans. I'm not even claiming to be a Republican because I'm not. I don't claim any political party at all. And definitely not the Republican Party. I know that the Republican Party has a piece, Brother Black Lightning. I know that the Republican Party has a reputation of being vile racist. They have this reputation of being the vile racist, but oftentimes, and I'm not saying that that's not true because it is, you know what I'm saying? But oftentimes, a lot of my people look past the racism of the party that they mostly support, which are the Democrats. Because look at here, man, the Democrats, they basically are treating us like property, right? They expect our vote. They want our vote. They expect our vote. They expect to get it for nothing, for free. And they've been trained to think that way. I would say that they've been trained by the generation before us, which is the Boomer generation, the Civil Rights generation. They trained the Democrats to think our vote, that we automatically will give them our vote, and we will automatically vote down ballot, vote blue no matter who. This is what the Democrats have been taught to think about us, is that, and we gave them that ammunition to think that way. We gave them the ammunition to think that way. Let me read some of this. Yeah. So, before we even get down into the gist of this thing, I would like for y'all to share my live. Make sure you smash that like button. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel, family, the Rebellious Rhymer Podcast on YouTube. Also, let me go ahead and drop this promo real quick. I have a new partner. It's called Dubby. Dubby is an energy drink is a powder that you mix. It's an energy drink. Okay, so use the promo code RRP Dubby to get you a 10% off of Dubby products. So yeah, that's Dubby.com, I believe. You can search it up on Google, and you search up Dubby, and they have a variety of energy drinks and powders and stuff like that. So if you use my promo code, you will get a discount. Okay. So, back to what I was saying. I understand that there's a difference between Republican right-wing extremist racism and what I call Chad Crow, soft shoe, you know what I'm saying, Democratic liberal racism. And if you ask me, the dangerous, which is the liberal racism, that one is more dangerous to me, simply because we, or at least we used to be, tricked by the liberal racism. You have a lot of liberals who will tell you that they're fighting for you and tell you that they're not racist and tell you to stay away from the Republican Party and tell you that Trump is not your friend and Trump is the boogeyman. They'll tell you all this, but at the same time, they are trying to replace you with illegal immigrants. Let me repeat that again. The Democratic Party spend all of this time and all of this effort trying to tell black people that they are their friends. They're looking out for them. And the Republicans are not your friends. Donald Trump is not your friend. The right wing is not your friend. Stay away from the right wingers. Okay? They try to tell us this. They try to tell us that the Republicans are the bad guys. They tell us this, but at the same time, they are actively trying to replace the black American vote with the immigrant vote. They are displacing black Americans in the place for illegal immigrants. They are shutting down black American schools, FBA schools, in order to house illegal immigrants. Or at least they were. At least they were. You know, and I'm really thankful for the actions of President Donald Trump is taking as far as cleaning some of that up and getting some of these illegal immigrants out of here, because they're taking up the resources. They are taking up our resources. Those resources can go to, you got homeless black people out on the streets. You have the residents of Skid Row, 50% of them are black Americans. That's a problem, family. That's a problem. A lot of that money, and we're going to go through some of the money that's being spent, some of this pork barrel spending by these Democrats, and the cause of this government shutdown, family. So let's get into it. But anyways, let's talk about this government shutdown, okay? All right. So it takes 60 votes to pass a law through Congress, okay? So 53, I believe, is it 53? Yeah, 53 Republicans in the Senate wanted to keep the government open, but then you have the 7 votes, more than likely Democratic votes that they are not giving to open the government back up. Basically, you need 60 votes, and they got 53 Republican votes. So Democrats voted 13 times to keep the government closed and shut down until they reach their demands. And I have a video that shows and proves that it is the Democrats that are keeping the government closed. Check this video out here.
We need to do this while we have the leverage.
Of course, there will be, families that are going to suffer, but it is one of the few leverage times we have.
You reopen the government and we lose our leverage, there has to be an agreement right now. That's what this whole shutdown is.
And they are using the American people as leverage and keeping the government shut down until they get what they want. And what is it that they want, you might ask? Oh boy, it's a doozy. The demands that they are asking for, the Democratic Party. As I sips my tea. That's some good tea right there. What is it that what do the Democrats want? What is it that's going to cause them to go ahead and give us the rest of those votes to reopen the government, right? That's causing jobs, all types of benefits and things that help your family. SNAP benefits and things of that nature. What are some of the demands by these Democrats that are causing this government shutdown? Well, I have a list here of some of these outrageous demands that these Democrats are demanding to open the government back up. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with that. The Democrats are admitting to causing this government shutdown, and here's some of the reasons why. Okay, we're going to start off with the fact that they are demanding a $200 billion restoration of free health care for illegal immigrants. So think about that, family. They're trying to restore $200 billion of free health care for illegal immigrants. So, that's money that could be going to your mom, your father, your grandfather, your grandmother, medical bills, stuff like that. They are giving $2 billion. Since the Biden administration, they have given over $200 billion into restoration for healthcare for illegal immigrants. So that is what you call, that's pork barrel spending right there. That is what people are. They're using these crazy demands, and a lot of this spending is nothing substantial. It's not nothing that's really helping people. It's really just ways of people and Democrats to pocket taxpayer dollars, to put it in their pockets. That's what pork barrel spending is. They make up some crazy scenario. We want to study grubs that grow on the Bolongo tree in Nigeria or something like that. Just make up some stuff, right? And say, okay, we're going to put $2 million towards that. All right. And then, such a silly study, that's not really going down. So what they do with the money, and for real, they pocket that money. So that's what pork barrel spending is. And that's what a lot of these demands are. Pork barrel spending. So $200 billion restoration for free healthcare for illegal immigrants. Okay. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. We could use that money for the American people. $4 million taxpayer dollars for global LGBT awareness campaigns. Again, that's pork barrel spending, trying to go across the globe and trying to indoctrinate people and children with LGBT agendas. Okay, and that's my dog back there barking, making all that damn noise in the backyard. I keep him in the backyard. Yeah, I definitely keep him in the backyard. But what's going on, family? Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share this live. Also, subscribe to my YouTube page, the Rebellious Rhymer Podcast on YouTube. Black conservatism without the buck dancing. Yeah. So $4 million for global LGBT awareness campaigns. So all those trips that Barack Obama made to Uganda and all that stuff, trying to push LGBT awareness on people that he do not support that kind of lifestyle. You got people getting locked up, going to prison for even practicing such a thing, and getting locked up for life for practicing such activities. So we all know that Africa is pretty much anti-LGBT, but they want to spend all of this money to try to program Africans to accept LGBT. It's just not going to happen. So again, it's more wasteful spending that we do not need, that the taxpayers do not need to be paying for, but that are going straight to these pork barrel spending projects. Okay? Projects like $6 million for media organization for Palestinians. Really? So they want to spend all this money on Palestinian propaganda, right? That, for the left seems to be leaning more towards the Palestinian side. That's confusing because a lot of them are leaning towards the Israeli side as well. But yeah, $6 million for media organization for Palestinians. A waste, if you ask me. A waste, if you ask me. Listen, at heart, I'm a humanitarian. I think a lot of us are. Most of my people are. We just have a caring heart. We care about the world because a lot of times, and oftentimes, we see the world through the lens of oppressed Black people's eyes. And we cannot always see the world that way, family, because the rest of the world don't see it the way we do. We see the world from a human standpoint, from a humanitarian standpoint. That's how we view the world. That's how we view the world. But everybody else don't view the world that way, family. Not the way we do. Not like us. So there was a video recently of the guy I know Speed. I think that's his name. He's out there in Palestine, and the dude called him a damn a bee. The dude called him a bee, which means slave. And I know Speed didn't even know. He was just looking crazy, like he had no idea what he was talking about. The dude basically called him the number one slave. Like, yeah, you're the number one slave. And I know Speed had no idea what this dude was talking about. But see, this is what I'm saying. I'm not throwing on the capes for no Palestinians, okay? I'm just not. No, I don't like oppression. I don't like, people being oppressed and all that stuff. But I'm not throwing on the capes for no Palestinians. I appreciate the heart, and I appreciate the likes and everything else. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everything. But yeah. So I'm not putting on the capes for no Palestinians when they sitting there calling you a bee in your face and calling you a slave in your face. They have a neighborhood in Palestine, which is majority black neighborhood, and they are extremely racist to these people. They treat these people horribly. They got like these special chocolates with black face or something on them. Like, is food just meant to just dehumanize and embarrass black people? And they have this type of candy and this kind of stuff in Palestine. They practice anti-black racism in Palestine, okay? It was a Palestinian store owner who called the police on George Floyd and had him beat to death and ultimately killed, okay? It was Palestinian store owners here in America who did that, who called the police on George Floyd. So I'm not impressed by a $6 million media organization for Palestinians when they over here calling us obese and calling us slaves and practicing anti-black racism. I don't give a damn about helping them, family. I don't give a damn about helping them. So, no, waste of money. That $6 million is a waste. All right? $3 million for circumcisions and vasectomies in the Zambia. Like, what? Talk about a waste. Why are we spending why me as a taxpayer who works his behind off every day have to have my tax dollars going to circumcisions and vasectomies in the Zambia? What the hell did that got to do with me? What does that have to do with me? Why does it matter to me that this young man in the Zambia gets a damn vasectomy, which is another form of birth control? That's all it is. It's just it's just population control, and people just fall for it like it's nothing. And circumcision. What does a young man in the Zambia got to do with me to where my money have to go to this young man getting his Peter Whacker circumcised? Like, what the hell? That is wasteful spending. Okay? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I am glad that these Democrats are coming out with this crap and showing us where their priorities lie. Okay? This is where their priorities lie. And you want to jump down my throat and call me a coon and a sellout because I don't want to support this? Man, you can get out of here with that, man. You can get out of here with that. I'll be all that. I'll be all of that. If it means that I don't have to have $3 million of my tax dollars going to circumcisions and vasectomies in the Zambia, then I'm good. $24.6 million to climate resilience in Honduras. Let me repeat that again. $24.6 million going to climate resilience in Honduras. So $24 million to go to what? Programs showing people how to survive in certain weather conditions. a climate controller. What the hell is that? What kind of law? What law is this? It's nothing. It's just an excuse for crooked politicians to put $24 million in their pocket. How much of this money is actually going to Honduras and actual climate control in Honduras? Why do they even care about climate control in Honduras when we got hungry Americans here, right here in this country, hungry, starving, homeless? And you worry about some damn climate resilience in Honduras? See, this is what I'm talking about. This is the pork barrel spending that I'm talking about. They make up this crazy stuff just to spend money. And it's not just the Democrats. All politicians do it. That's why I don't trust none of these politicians. But I know what's the best. I think that at this moment, our current administration is what's best for our people at this moment. You may not like Trump. You may not care about Trump. I don't really care much about the guy either. He's okay to me. You know, it's an indifference. I don't really have an issue with Trump. And they say, well, he's racist. So what? To me, all of them are racist. All of these YT folks in office are racist or have some type of racism. So what? He ain't no different than Joe Biden or any other white person in office. They all racist. But the point is, are your policies going to hurt the Black American community, or are they going to help the Black American community? That's the only question that matters. Them being racist is really irrelevant. It's really irrelevant. It doesn't matter. What are they policies going to do to help or hinder us? That's what matters. That's what matters. Okay? That's what matters. Okay? $24 million for climate resilience in Honduras. That's absolutely ridiculous. So, what else do we have here? $13.4 million to civic engagement in Zimbabwe. What? I'm going to repeat that again. $13.4 million to civic engagement in Zimbabwe. What the hell is civic engagement? What are you trying to do? Y'all already got Robert Mugabe, the former president of Zimbabwe, out of power and taking over the land. The man was trying to take his country back. He was kind of pulling the Ibrahim Traore move and trying to rid himself of United States currency and the grip of the Western world, period, and take his land back and take Rhodesia, Zimbabwe back and give Zimbabwe back to the people. And they got him out of office for that. They got him out of office. Haven't heard from the man since. I don't even know what happened to him. What happened to the former president of Zimbabwe, Robert Mugabe? I don't know. You know, God bless the man, though. So with this civic engagement, you know, what I hear when I hear civic engagement, it's just other ways of trying to colonize or recolonize Zimbabwe. That's all it is. That's all it is. And I'm not interested in $13.4 million of our taxpayer dollars going to that, okay? I'm just not interested in that. I'm just not interested in that. All right? That is wasteful pork barrel spending right now, and it's causing, not only is it causing for the Democrats' approval ratings to be low, and they're getting lower. They're getting lower. Not only is it causing their approval ratings to get low, but it's definitely going to cause them the 2028 election. And I don't know who they plan on running for the 2028 election, but they're going to have a hard time. They're going to have a hard time. And if it was up to me, I would make sure that the Democrats are never in power again, especially if they don't give what we want. Especially if they don't give up the goods, like Mobb Deep would say. Especially if they don't give up the goods. And what are the goods? They expect the Black American vote just unapologetically, you know, blindly, without giving in to any of our demands. And what are our demands? reparations for foundational Black Americans, an anti-Black hate crime bill for Black Americans, so we can be protected under the law against police brutality and random shootings by vigilantes and stuff like that, which will hold officers accountable, hold people, vigilantes and stuff accountable under a hate crime bill. The same thing that the Asians got with their COVID hate crime bill. Same thing that they got. Same type of bill that they got. Something like that. Okay? That's what we could use. So let's get back to this pork barrel Democrat spending, okay? $3.9 million to the LGBTQ democracy grants in the Balkans. A lot of LGBT pork barrel spending. And don't get me wrong, I am not a homophobe or anything like that. To have a phobia is to be afraid of something or be afraid of someone. And I'm not afraid of anyone or anything or any group of people. Okay, I'm not afraid of homosexuals or homosexuality. Okay, I don't agree with it, and I keep it that type of lifestyle. I try to protect my children from that type of lifestyle because it's a degenerate lifestyle. Okay, and it's pushed on the Black community in particular by the government as a form of population control. If everybody's gay, then nobody's having children. You understand what I'm saying? So they're spending a lot of money on these LGBT grants, but like I said, that's just the surface. It's really just pork barrel spending. It's really just money that they're pocketing. They're pocketing this money. So no, that's again, that's money that could be going towards our reparations. That's money that could be going towards our schools. That's money that could be going towards extracurricular activities for our youth. Recreation centers, we don't have those anymore. We don't have learning programs the way we used to. Programs for things like welding, construction work, automotive care. Things like that we used to be able to go to the rec center and learn. And we don't have these type of programs anymore because they removed a lot of these programs along with a lot of resources out of the Black community. Okay? And they're using this money, especially the Democrats are using this money to go to illegal immigrants. So yes, I have a huge issue with that. Let's talk about the $2.9 million to desert locust reduction in Africa. I'm not kidding. That's one of the demands. I'm dead serious. I am dead serious. $2.9 million to desert locust reduction in Africa. So bugs. They want to spend $2.9 million on getting rid of some bugs. In the desert, in the desert. Like, what exactly is the issue with locusts in the desert anyway? Like, it's bothering people. Who's out there in the desert besides some rattlers and some scorpions? And like, come on, man, it don't make no sense. That doesn't make no sense. That is obviously some pork barrel spending, and that is obviously some make-believe stuff for them to pocket this money, for them to put money in their pocket. That's absolutely ridiculous. $2.9 million of taxpayer dollars. People like me and you that go to work every day, and we are spending $2 million of our money on goddamn desert locust reduction. What does that have to do with America? What, are those desert locusts going to fly overseas and come and swarm the Americas and attack us like the attack of the killer tomatoes or something, the attack of the killer bugs? What the hell is going on with that? Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. $2 million to organizing for feminist democratic principles in Africa. Like, you got to be kidding me, right? $2 million to organizing for feminist democratic principles in Africa. So they are trying to introduce feminism in Africa. Feminism, the very exact thing that helped to ruin thousands and thousands of black households in America by replacing the black man, replacing the black husband with the government assistance, replacing the black man with food stamps, replacing the black man with SNAP, replacing the black man with WIC, all at the same time using this mass incarceration to lock the black man up. Letting the black woman know, hey, you don't need this black man. We got this assistance for you. We got these housing vouchers for you. We got these SNAP benefits for you. We got these food stamps for you. You don't need this black man. You don't need him. And if we find out that this black man is living with you, we're going to audit you. And if you don't believe me, take a look at the movie. What is the name of that movie? Claudine. In the movie Claudine is a perfect example. It was James Earl Jones and I want to say Carol Speed, but I don't think that's not Carol Speed. But anyways, I forgot the female actress. But that in that movie is a prime example of what was happening through the 60s, all throughout the 70s, 80s, and even to the 90s, and still to this day, it's still happening. Where the black man is being replaced in the home by government assistance. And you got women out there screaming, I'm independent, I don't need no man. Celebrating the fact that their man is gone, that they don't have one, and that the government is locking their men up and putting them on a permanent reliance type of system where they're relying on the government to pay their rent. They're relying on the government to fill their bellies. They're relying on the government to put clothes on their back and keep shelter over their head. They're relying on the government for these kind of things. And this was done on purpose to replace the black man. And why was that done? It was done to destabilize the home because they know that strong black communities is what helps to bring down crooked systems like theirs. Strong black families, are the ones who supported grassroots organizations like the Black Panthers and, other organizations like that. They know that the nuclear family is the key to black survival in the community. So yes, they're going to use the government and they're going to use the system to break that up. And that's what they're doing. And the feminism was introduced to the black community to destroy the black home and to destroy the black family and to make women think that they don't need no man, they can take care of themselves. And when in actuality, it's the government taking care of them. And I'm talking about the people who are part of that. That's not to say all black women are, I'm talking about maybe the bottom 10, 15%. The poorest of our community. Okay? So let me just put that disclaimer out there. That's not to say all black women even fell for this whole feminism agenda. But yes, 2 million to organize for feminist democratic principles in Africa. Excuse me. So they're trying to bring feminism into Africa. Which that definitely is not going to work. That's definitely something that's not going to fly anywhere in Africa, I don't think. That is not about to fly. Some women talk about some feminism and all of that stuff in Africa. Somebody's going to beat their ass with a flip-flop. That's what's going to happen. Y'all don't be listening to the United States government with that feminism shit, y'all. Don't be doing that. That's not going to work. That's not going to work in your favor. That is not going to work in your favor. How y'all doing, family? Shouts out to everybody in the room. Much appreciated. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the people joining the room. If you're just tuning in, my name is Shane the Artist, and this is an episode of the Rebellious Rhymer Podcast, Black Conservatism Without the Buck Dancing. Hope y'all are enjoying this program. I try to do it live at least once a week. I be very busy. I'm a busy man. I work, I have a family, stuff like that. So, I have a lot going on, but I try to put my face on camera at least once a week. I try to put my face on camera at least once a week. Let me see if I can invite some people in to see if they have something to add to this conversation. If you have anything to add to this conversation, you just let me know. You just let me know. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I'm just checking out some of the comments and stuff. It's good to see everybody in the room. So apparently this is breaking news. President Trump promises $2,000 in tariff dividends to the American people. And this is according to the New York Post. So supposedly Trump is supposed to be cutting a check for $2,000 for Americans, for the American people, due to tariff dividends to the American people. If those don't know what dividends are, is so like, let's say you invest in the stock market, right? You make some investments in Apple or Walmart, something like that. You make investments in Bitcoin, things of that nature. When your money sits, you collect dividends off of that. Okay, so if you make some type of investment in some kind of stock, something like that, and your money is just sitting, you are collecting dividends like every month or however it's set up to whatever you are invested in. You collect dividends off of those investments. Okay, so this $2,000 is supposed to be tariff dividends to the American people. I don't know how y'all feel about that. If you have anything to say about that, if you think that there's a catch to it, which to me, there's always a catch to any type of, it's not free money. It's definitely not free money. The American people pay enough into this government. Okay, we pay millions, trillions of dollars into this government, the average working class citizen. So nothing that they give us is free. Not even that reparations that they're going to cut for us, and which they are going to give us our reparations. And we are going to make sure, whether it happened in my lifetime or not, we're going to get them that reparations check, family. And we want cash money. No government programs, no land allocation, no school grants, none of that. We want our cash money, the same as the Native Americans, the same as the Japanese, the same as the Ashkenazi Jewish community received. That's what we want, and that's what we're going to get, family. And we're not going to let up until we get it. And the Democratic Party will never be in power again until they give in to our demands. Don't vote for no damn Democratic Party if they're not offering you anything. We're done with the symbolic gestures. We're done with black faces in high places. We're done with that. Those black faces in high places are mostly immigrants anyway, who would look to undermine you, who look to get into power and to undermine black Americans, foundational black Americans, who look to get into office and tell you that you're not getting no reparations. We don't agree with reparations because my mama won't get it, or my father won't get it, or my family from Nigeria won't get it. My family from the Caribbeans won't get it. So they'll crash the whole thing out because they can't get none of the funds. We're not going for that, family. We are just simply not going for that. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate the likes, the hearts. Don't forget to share this live. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel, family. the Rebellious Rhymer podcast on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I'm probably going to go ahead and end this live. It's 7:50 here in Houston, Texas. This is what is that, Central Time? How y'all like my shirt? You know, throughout all the slasher shirts that I be wearing, y'all will think that I'm a huge slasher head, which I'm really not. I dig some slashers, but I'm more of a comedy person myself. I like black comedies that make me laugh. You know, I like Fridays and all of that kind of stuff like that. I was just watching Friday before I did this live, so but it's cool. I rock with Michael Myers. As I sips my tea. But yeah, and those are just some of the spending that these Democrats are trying to get off. So now they're saying that they're holding the American people hostage with this government shutdown until they work out some negotiations to be able to pass some of these laws some of these laws that I just named. Some of these pork barrel spending programs that I just named. They don't want to open the government back up until they pass some of these laws. Wasteful spending. And the whole point of this live is just to let people know that it's not Trump that is shutting down the government, okay? It is not Donald Trump that is responsible for shutting down the government. It are these Democrats. They're playing hardball, or they're trying to play hardball. They are coming up with all these crazy demands, things that have nothing to do with the American people. They obviously cannot stand America. They hate America. They hate Americans. They hate Black Americans, while simultaneously claiming that they're fighting for us. Like, make that make sense. They talk about how Donald Trump is racist and he doesn't like Black people and he's going to deport Black Americans and he's going to denationalize us and deport us. Deport us where? That's a bunch of crap, a bunch of malarkey propaganda crap that we don't believe. Nothing but Democratic scare tactics. Donald Trump is not about to deport no damn Black Americans nowhere, okay? This is our country here. We are in the damn Constitution. Where are we going? We not no damn immigrants. They're not deporting us nowhere. So don't listen to them scare tactics by the Democratic Party. We not going no damn where. We not about to get deported nowhere. They can't send us to no Africa. Where? Where are we going to go in Africa? Where are we going to go anywhere besides here in this country that my ancestors built? We not going no damn where. We ain't going nowhere, family. And this is what I'm talking about, man. These scare tactics and these shaming tactics that are continuously used against Black people who do not support this socialist democratic agenda. We don't. The majority of us do not support that, and that is why Kamala Harris lost the election. And that's why whatever Democrat decide to run in 2028, they're going to lose as well. They're going to lose. They're going to lose because they have nothing new up their sleeve. They have no new tricks. They're not going to give in to our demands. They're not going to give us what they want. They're going to continue to try to get our vote for nothing. Let me explain to you about a vote. A vote is supposed to be quid pro quo. You understand what I'm saying? Which means you give me something and I'll give you something. Or I'll give you something and you give me something in return. It's an even exchange. It's an even trade. That is quid pro quo. Every other group of people in this country, the Asians, the Hispanic community, the Arab community, they vote quid pro quo. They're not going to go and vote in large numbers like that if they are not getting anything out of the deal. Excuse me. Let me repeat that again. They're not going to go and vote in mass numbers like that if they are not getting anything out of the deal. So as Black Americans, we need to be the same way, and we need to be strategic with our vote. Not only do we need to be strategic with our votes, but we need to be strategic with withholding our vote as well. Don't let them Democratic shills shame you into, oh, well, your ancestors died and fought for you to vote. So you're supposed to vote blindly for the Democrats no matter what. Absolutely not. And that is not why our ancestors died. Our ancestors died because they lived in a system of racism and violence and white supremacy. That's why they died. In a system that didn't even want them to vote at first. That's why they died. They didn't die for us to go and vote blindly for a group of politicians that's not going to do nothing for you. Are you crazy, fool? What is wrong with you people who believe that? Our ancestors did not die for that. They did not die for us to just vote blindly for nothing at all. For nothing in exchange. Give these people our vote just for them to try to replace us with some damn illegal immigrants. Hell no. Hell no. And with all the breath in my body, I would do whatever it takes to keep those Democrats out of power if they continue to treat Black Americans like this. If they continue to treat us like this, I would do everything in my power to make sure that they stay out of power. I will organize everything else because they're not doing nothing for us. They're not doing nothing for us. And like I said, you may not like Trump. You may disagree with Trump. You may think Trump is an asshole. You may think he's racist. But I think that he is helping Black people in more ways than one. He's helping us more than any Democrat. Just by him making these deportations, that's helping us a lot. A lot of jobs are opening back up. You know, our kids are able to go and get summer jobs at McDonald's and stuff now. You know, people, immigrants, our kids can't even go get summer jobs no more and make a few dollars, you know, so they can pay their little phone bill or something. Because all these fast food restaurants and McDonald's and all the little Chick-fil-A's and all these little jobs like that, it's all illegal immigrants taking over the whole job, and they stay there. So what are our kids supposed to do with all these illegals? So I'm glad that Trump is doing this mass deportation. And nobody had no complaints when Obama was deporting millions of people out of the country. Nobody said nothing then. But Trump is the boogeyman. Trump is the bad guy. I think Trump is helping Black people more than we would like to admit. Trump is helping Black people more than we would like to admit. And, you know, and I'll say it. I'll go out there and say it. I don't care. I'm not concerned with what people label me or call me. I'm a Black conservative without the buck dancing, okay? And I agree with a lot of what Trump is doing. Now, as far as this whole Nigeria thing and him potentially sending troops into Nigeria, I don't know about that. You know, but you got some things going on in Nigeria, all these Christians dying. You got Boko Haram running amok, kidnapping whole villages of children. You know, all kind of scams and all kind of crazy stuff is going on. So I don't, you know, whether Trump send troops into Nigeria to kind of put a halt to some of that stuff, some of that activity, I don't know. But if he do send troops, I'm inclined to believe that the reason is not going to be because of Boko Haram. Boko Haram getting children out the paint. I don't think that's the reason. What's going on, family? Can you hear me? Okay. Well, let me go ahead and how do I get rid of this? Let me get this out of here. Hello. All right. Let me. I'm gonna make sure I don't be trying to add no people on here. They gonna be coming up here with all kind of crazy stuff. I'm just not for that right now. But yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. The Democrats are the cause of this government shutdown. They're wasting all of this money on all this pork barrel spending, all of these ridiculous programs that they're trying to pass. And the Republicans are not having it, and they're not going to bend to any of these off the wall demands. So the government is going to stay shut down until further notice, I guess. And you know what? I'm good with it. I'm good with that because I think that in the long run, it's going to help us out. And I do honestly believe that Trump is looking out for us inadvertently. I'm not claiming that he is purposely looking out for us or that he cares about us. I don't believe none of that. But I do believe that inadvertently, he is helping us by doing all of these mass deportations and shutting down all of this spending in all of these foreign nations. So kudos to Donald Trump for that. I give it up to him. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and end this. This has been another episode of the Rebellious Rhymer podcast. I am your host, Shane the Artist. And remember, the revolution starts with you. All right? Peace.